Perfect. So, welcome back. How are we? Why? Oh, that's why. There is currently no map on the
Why?
screen. I will fix that.
No map?
There's
No map.
No map.
If you don't have a map, you can't get lost.
Can confirm.
Wait a second.
No, Net was on my side with that one. Sorry.
No, Google Maps exists. It's great.
Well, considering that texting is going to cost me, what, like 48,000 gold? I don't know about how advanced the Google Maps are.
Look, we won't worry about it for now. So,
For now.
map is loading. Skip tour. Thank you.
I'm having a fantastic time.
Look, I'm glad someone is.
Of course.
What do you mean? You seem like I'm the only one who's having a good time.
I'm having a great time. What are you talking about?
okay.
Exactly.
Nothing bad will ever happen.
Are you not having a fantastic time?
I will have a fantastic time. Another month, another spell scroll. If only that was the case, Leo.
I got another spell like last game, man. Everything's
In-game
going
month,
well.
Not out of game month.
Last we left off, the party had just made their way into quite the political melting pot. A lot of people from different walks of life all across Quentos seem to be gathering and converging at one point to see who the hell this Lord Tavis really is and what the hell House Tavis is going to mean for Mantarathir. You all got announced, and then one by one, various, I don't want to say political figures, but
Influential figures?
specifically capable individuals were introduced one by one.
Weapons of mass destruction.
I don't like to call it
Walking.
that.
That's just what Leo's do.
Yeah.
But Lord Tavis gets introduced, and immediately the room itself begins to change kind of tone. People seem to be a bit more eager. Immediately, as Lord Tavis is kind of begins making his way to the main floor, the first to approach him is Rowan Rindle. The two of them seem to have a good conversation, but as the room itself begins to develop and people find their new clusters of where they wish to speak or be, each of you, what are you doing here?
I don't really know what the proper protocol would be for a fancy gala for going up to talking to your boss, so I think I'm just gonna like hang out and with like Kyvan and wait for somebody to tell me what I should be doing.
Are
If that's
people
what you wish to do.
dancing at the moment?
There is some people dancing as the formal like dancing point hasn't begun, but there is like a dance floor and a band.
It's the snack part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is everyone's just kind of arriving, getting drinks, catching up, figuring out news. As you look around,
Whoa.
a couple of people have bunched off though. You can see Lady Tavis seems to be having a conversation with the High Signatrix now. You see Magister Vela seems more at ease, and none of you saw her arrive or when she did, but Jessa is speaking to her. You see
I might go talk to Dizzle.
Essel and Salia are now deep in conversation. And just towards the balcony that overlooks the open ground area, you can see the Gessir and Headmaster Kaelstrom have split off into a conversation. If you want to go try and infiltrate those conversations, you can try.
Before that kicks off, Leo will seek down Emmeline.
Okay.
Hopefully, Sally is in conversation with someone else.
Salia is off with Essel now.
But-
so-
SO.
Oh yeah, great, cool. Emmeline, you free for a dance?
No,
Last time they danced, it was very impressive.
certainly.
Oh yeah,
What's,
Leo's
um,
dancing is more wired to this.
Oh yeah, this is suitable.
Unless
that
it's a
is,
boogieing at a pub. Yeah.
Certainly. Lead the way.
Hold the arm out, do the proper thing.
Yes. Yeah.
start doing a regular kind of dance. I assume there's a couple of other people doing a boogie when it's not cutting up a rug in the middle of everyone else.
No, there's
Everyone
usually
else
about
like, what the
30
fuck
to
is
40
going
people
on?
on the dance floor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
great, cool. Wanted to grab you. I need your advice.
Oh, what for?
Oh, everything's fine.
I was a bit
but-
concerned considering you
No,
asked
no,
me to
no,
dance
no, no,
first, but
no, nothing like this. It's fine. Um, you knowing what I do,
Hmm.
and looking around at the people who've been invited here, I'm quite confident that this is not a party.
I mean, to some extent, yes. Although it is still a
That's-
party. A party is a useful thing in many ways, but I can see what you're getting at.
Yes, these invitations were sent out to people who are immensely destructive in their capabilities, immensely dangerous. This isn't a party, this is a recruitment drive.
Think about it deeper than that, Leo. This isn't just a recruitment drive. This is a chance to gain information about people that are potentially friends, potentially enemies, though. These are all people that would linger in the shadows, that would not surface, quite literally for some of them, who would not make themselves known. This is a chance to pull them into the open, perhaps one of the first times for many of them in a long time. This is a chance for us to see who they are, whether they can be trusted in the first place, or whether their goals, their motives align with ours at all. It is certainly potentially a recruitment, but I think it is also an information gathering exercise.
Well, I guess on that, I hadn't thought of the spycraft angle here, but I guess the point I want to ask is, in that case, we should get to work, right?
Leo,
Shit.
all up your arm where the burn once happened, you lost your hand. You feel just intense pins and needles.
Oh, I'm holding Emmeline's hand as we're dancing.
Yes, Jen, I rolled for pins and needles.
Oh,
No, I was saying we're not having a fucking ember rift in the middle of a goddamn gala, are we?
yeah, this game is
Guys
just going
just
to be
there
combat
like-
now. Oh, that's a
Are
problem.
you alright?
Um,
Do we need
no,
to
no.
stop? Are you...
Yes, let's stop. Fuck.
Is it the...
Anyway, I'm just no, it's the whole arm where the signatrix burned. Fuck
No,
me.
not where the signatrix burned, where you lost the hand where you touched the rift.
Oh yeah, great.
Hmm.
Ow. No, just where the hand grew back.
Has
I
it
guess
been...
what I'm asking is
Sorry.
no, it hasn't hurt before like this. I look over at Maddie. Is she experiencing the same pain because she got the phantom pain when it was cut off?
You see, she's just like shaking out her hand.
Walk with me. I just want to know, where can we be the most effective? Oh, fuck.
Maybe the most effective? Getting a measure of the people here, talking to them, learning what we can. Trying to shape an opinion, trying to gather what information we can about them, who they are, what they want. Whatever we can find out would be useful, but...
Make friends, pry gently. Got it.
Meanwhile,
right.
Rhea is just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna have a good time.
Yeah. She's killing
Hi,
it.
what's your name? I'm
Talk
Rhea.
about it.
Yeah, basically, she's like, "Hi, how are you?"
Allow me to
Oh.
introduce myself.
But pry gently, find out more, find out what you can about everyone here.
Yeah, in a second. Thank you for that.
Did you
Fuck.
need help with... Did you want me to
Um,
get someone, a healer, or...
No, I don't think it's sore. It's just numb. Like it's just gone numb all of a sudden. Maddie, does your hand hurt.
Feels like I've been sitting on it, but that's about it.
Yeah, same. It's right up to where it was cut off.
Is it like pins and needles for you as well?
Yeah, exactly.
May I see?
Hold it out.
Smack!
Oh, I don't feel anything.
Rest in peace, his hand.
Yeah. Oh man, this is brand new.
It just falls off. She's like, sorry.
No!
The body
It
rejects
fades
it.
after a couple seconds.
Oh, bloody hell. All right. Emily, thank you for the dance. It was wonderful. Sorry, it was
No, anytime.
cut off early.
You should
and the advice.
mention that, though.
To
You should
who?
mention that. Lord Davis.
Oh, perhaps tomorrow. He seems
Very well.
busy today.
No, of course. I don't mean injuring the bone. That would be
Yeah,
quite
a bit
quite
funny.
rude. But
Thank you.
oh, of course,
Shall we get to work?
anytime. Of course.
So, Ria,
Cool.
who would you like to introduce yourself to?
I might go say hi to Jezza because it's been a while.
Okay. So you make your way over to Jezza. She's currently talking to the Magister. As you kind of make your way over, she kind of clocks you, and the conversation kind of slows a little bit, and she looks at you and goes, Wisteria, darling. How are you?
It's been such a while. It's nice to see you. And
Thank you.
the Magister I've already met, right?
This is the one who was from under the water, Magister Vela.
Oh, yeah. Got it. Cool. Because I was talking to her at the end of last session as well, because we were
Yes.
sitting at the table. Yeah. Have things in the world gotten any better?
Better, not really. More chaotic, yes. More interesting, definitely.
Definitely more dangerous.
For some.
For anybody who isn't as cool as you, probably.
I know my way around.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier about the I point to the Magister about the void spawn portals and about how they might be similar to the Ember Rifts.
You kind of go to a point and Jessica just clasps your hands above hands. She goes, darling, don't point at people in a place like this.
Oh. Sorry.
It's all right. We don't point. But that's okay. We learn.
Why you're just kind of like awkwardly blushing, just like, I've embarrassed myself.
I have done an oops in the first possible scenario.
Yeah. Just like, so how are you? Have you guys been? Are you just trying to put conversation on them?
Jessica, she doesn't get let go of your hand. It just places on her like, well, myself and Vela here have been speaking on the various sort of arcane chaos that stirs both within deep woad and deep sea.
Are they related?
Not particularly, but there's a certain chaos that can be found between them.
Overlapping.
Similar, but not quite the same. There is, like, more kelp-like forests below the waves that are believed to be connected to the woad.
That's really cool. I know that the roots also go down into the world below, so it makes sense that they might come out in the oceans.
They are everywhere.
They connect everything. Makes sense.
You see, Vela, she's kind of, I have no experience with the wood. I've never been.
It's definitely a thing of its own.
It sounds difficult to navigate.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where you want it to like you. Everything out here is so standard in comparison.
It's neat and organized.
Yeah.
You can't make the ocean like you, but you can read its patterns.
That's nice. Sometimes I feel like the wood doesn't have patterns. I feel like that would be more helpful in some ways, depending on what you're trying to do.
As you say that, Jessica kind of leans back, gives you your hand back. Darling, you and I don't have patterns, and the woad is a sentient being.
True. There, I was just thinking about from like a moving around kind of sense.
I suppose, but it does have certain movements that can be read.
Like the
There's-
changing of the seasons?
No, there's a way you can. If you need the heart tree's attention on a specific part, if you drop someone that has an extremely poor relationship within the world, it's easier to sneak past some of its awareness on the other side.
That makes sense. You're pointing its attention somewhere else.
Exactly.
Although I think it might be a little bit difficult to just plop somebody that you know has a bad relationship without them knowing.
Yes, terribly. I imagine it would be terribly difficult. As you see, Jessa and Vela just share like a chuckle and a drink.
Ria's just like looking around like, I'm out of my depths here. I just thought they were both cool and I wanted to spend time with them.
Unfortunately, you guys are in the cool kids club right now, and you're not the cool kids.
Ria will never be one of the cool kids. What do you mean?
Never say never. She'll just be a cool kid at a different table. She'll sit at the popular table in the psych ward.
It's true. 2 out of or 3 of my characters so far have been absolute goobers. I only have one cool kid character, and now she's dead. So
Look, it has to happen to all the characters eventually.
yeah, but usually we learn about it instead of it just being like, oh, it happened. I'm not going to tell you anything or any reason or what's going on with it.
Be patient.
I'm not that.
For the first time in your life, be patient.
That's not me. I'm not that.
I don't want to.
Stop edging me. I want it now. So,
Anyways,
Emmeline,
that's Rhea Flounders in conversation.
as Rhea Flanders, Emmeline or Leo, who would like to go first?
I've got someone I want to talk to, but Emmeline can go first.
In terms of Lady Tavis's conversation with the high signatrix, how closed off do they seem to be? Does it seem like it's a very private conversation, or does it
Roll me
seem
an
more
insight.
open? What is my modifier? Uh, 17. That's better than I thought.
You look up at them. Nothing about their body language indicates that they're not open to other people coming up. Like, the conversation doesn't seem too intense.
Okay. Emmeline will make her way up then. Give me a bit of a formal bow, making her way up to Lady Tavis.
Lady Tavis, she nods at you. Well,
Lady Tavis. I
Emily.
signatrix. I don't believe we've met, but pleasure. I am Emmeline.
Mela, this is Emily. She's in my employ. Emmeline, this is Mela Vaughan, the High Signatrix.
Pleasure to meet you.
Well, are you one of the Tavis agents that's roaming and raving around the better part of Quentos, getting up to all sorts of trouble?
Guilty. That would involve me. I lead one of our groups. I believe you would have met some of them already, I think. Leo? The
I
one.
didn't.
Yes.
I think I met the other Kitsune girl.
Right, yes. That is the other one here with us. But no, I am responsible for that group running around Quentos, and
So you're to blame for anything that comes back trouble then.
that is probably one of the other groups.
Tell me, Emmy, may I call you Emmy? Are they trouble?
I've never been called that before, but you may. No, trouble a little bit. I can be a little bit gremlin-ish at times, but
Well,
they are
if we've not all been once.
useful. They are talented. That is without doubt. Unconventional at times, and perhaps not always not the most familiar with social circles like this, but
Well, I'm sure
Useful.
they'll do great. Lady Tavis kind of interject. I'm sure you no one in our employ is anything but up to standard.
No.
Emmeline, we were just
They wouldn't be-
talking about, well, as grim as it is in high society, we were talking about war.
very well.
Yes, I
What
see.
conflict?
Well, Lady Tavis here was ever so curious about where I would stand in a Mantarathia-scaled conflict again. If something of the like of the rebellion for so many hundreds of years ago happened again, where would I call home? Would I fight for Mantarathia side?
Forgive me, Signatrix. I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage here. I do not know much about you or where you are from.
Well, very few do, but I am Mantarathia born and bred, but I hold little love for my home.
Why not? If I don't mind me asking.
Well, I was born just shy southeast of Leaside on those little stretch of islands down. And there's fucking nothing there. So I hold very little loyalty to
Understandable.
it. I trained across many a great place and Magisterium's never done anything for me. I've never sought to be a part of it. No offense, Lindis. She goes, none taken. I was curious. Because, well, you know, when the next war comes, it may not even be other the mortals we're fighting against. So I'm curious if you're so privy to be alive, when Doomsday arrives, where will you hold base? Well,
This is a good question.
I'm a survivor. I don't know, this whole talk of dragons, it's been hundreds of years since it all began. Since all this talk. If and when it happens, I'll take up arms wherever the fuck I take up arms, wherever I am. I don't know if there's a one last stand for humanity somewhere. I promise I won't go easy. I won't succumb to dragon fire. I won't succumb to fire. Full stop.
Dancer?
What about you, Emmeline? Are you one of these bastions of humanity that the Tavis seem to be wanting so badly?
I will stand wherever I'm told to stand.
Linda, say jump, please, for me. As easy
Well,
lady,
we
I was just like, no, that's quite enough fun at poor Emmeline's expense.
Look, things don't go quite that far, but
Once you
We
don't get
appreciate it,
afraid
Jay.
of the fire and run. Your little friend Rhea seems to be quite averse to fire and the Ember Rifts in
Yes.
general.
that she is. But she is committed to facing it, which is admirable. Afraid or not, she plans to go head first into stopping them, which is it is well put.
Be very curious to see
I'm-
how that goes.
I am curious, what is your affinity with fire based on? You seem to have such a great natural talent and focus on it.
When you find something you're good at, you stick with it.
Hmm.
It was
Yours-
I set pretty much everything on the island I was born on fire. I transcribed my first spell at 3. And, well, once it catches fire, it spreads quickly. A prodigy, I don't know if there's something in the infernal lineage that helps with my affiliation. Maybe I trace my roots back to Mixmagar. But all I know is I'm the second best pyromancer to ever live.
That is quite the title to have.
When you're second only to a goddess, I can take it.
I am curious how those priests of Celelio would feel about such a statement.
Well,
It could make for quite the interesting conversation.
I'm quite in the friendly banners with them, if I must be honest.
Another reason for you to be at odds with a lot of people in Mantarathir, I suppose.
Mantarathir is ever eyes on the future, but seems to do very little for recalling our history about what the Ascended did for us. But without them, we're just giant slaves, and there is no Mantarathir. I know it's been a few hundred years, but I'm less likely to forget. I understand they don't like religion. So be it. But it has its helps.
Well put. Sorry to pester you with so many questions. I am just curious.
You're most welcome. It's nice to talk to someone who's not. Honestly, it's nice to see someone who doesn't know me.
I am curious though, I have never heard of the title High Signatrix before. Is that a title from Mantarathir or?
No. Originally speaking, it's not. It has followed me to where I am. It's from Thiel originally. Oh, well, that's where it was granted to me.
Right.
One of 2 pyromancers to survive taming the flames of Mount Ira.
Right. That makes sense, I suppose.
Those who can are given the title of High Signatrix. Celelio did it when she was mortal, but there was not the formal titling back then, so to speak. I spent a lot of time in Thiel.
I have. All everyone's thinking in their head is Theo was coming up now. It's just like, fuck. That is, no, I've never been to Thiel before, but I've heard it is quite the beautiful place.
Well, it is, but below Mount Iramen, where the lava gets densest, is the portal ways into the plains of fire.
Have you been to the Plane of Fire? I imagine you
I would be a poor pyromancer if I haven't.
study your element in its rawest form.
It's important if we are to be ready for doomsday when it arrives.
Indeed. Sorry, Lady Tavis, I did not mean to derail your conversation with
By all means, Emily. No,
Mela. Quite so much.
I found plenty of information from our dear guest here.
How is
Yeah.
the event tonight? Is it everything so far to your liking?
It is good so far. They have gotten everything to our specification.
Perfect.
Mela Vaughan, I will have to leave you here. I do have other guests to speak to. Please, if you wish to spiritedly debate fire and religion with Emmeline. Please continue, but I apologize. I must take my leave. As Lady
Lady
Tavis
Tavis?
kind of goes off, and the High Signatrix, just like pushes back her hair, horns kind of just curling away. She's very uptight.
It's different once you get to know her. But
Mayhaps I will.
in a formal setting like this, it is well, hardly better in many cases for anything other than first impressions. But spend time with Lady Tavis that she's not always as formal as this.
Interesting. She just like is like putting an eye over you right now. She just there's silence. She just like starts taking all of you in.
Seeing something?
Unfortunately not.
Any traces of fire on me? Is that what you are searching for? Any influence?
Among
Touched
other
by a
things,
fire?
yes.
I'm sure you would have had a field day with Leo.
Both Leo and Ria were interesting too.
No. Unfortunately, no traumatic experiences with fire yet myself. Nothing to shape me in quite the same way.
Tavis is to be believed. Well, perhaps we'll have more of the fire the merrier soon.
Indeed. In which case, I will be knocking on your door to find out more information about it.
Yeah. I'm sure I will be quite the consultancy. I'm going to get another drink. Would you like one?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll walk
So
over
as
with you.
you walk off with her, Leo.
Who is Professor Mornsleet talking to?
You've got. Let me get my notes. Professor Cauldron Mornslate.
Yes, I would like to go see the wizard named Cauldron.
Thank you. I'm glad you got that. Of the School of Necromancy, you see he's kind of just off in a corner, like fiddling with a pocket watch.
That's the one who lost his invisible little guy last time, right?
It wasn't invisible. You just couldn't see it.
Okay.
But yes.
Professor Mornsleet.
Who?
Welcome to the Gala.
Do I know you?
Not yet. I'm a student at the Ether Lyceum. I don't have much in the way
excellent
of. I believe so as well. Thank you. I'll gesture over to Kelstrom. That's the headmaster.
We've talked many a
he's-
time. I'm the
He's
leader
a
of the Ivory
wonderful
Gate.
master.
Similar. Arcane teachings, but different schools. I'm more focused.
Yes, it's in that vein I've come to say hello. You see, at the Lyceum we don't get much in the way of necromantic training, and
Quite the grim school of magics, isn't it? Not many people like
I
to deal with
I
it.
don't necessarily think so. Yeah, necromancy is a study of one of the fundamental aspects of life.
Exactly. It's honestly.
I'm not quite so squeamish to it. Just as a conjurer could dismiss his conjuration, life itself is dismissed.
Great many of secrets to be found in the body.
Of course, the material of a conscious of a conscious soul is I don't know, an interesting what's the word I'm looking for? This is Nathan's brain shortening out, not
That's okay.
not Leo's. It's an interesting line of inquiry, one that I don't think gets as much credence as it deserves.
I would be
In
in
the
agreement.
spirit,
A lot of people get
in the
very
spirit
upset when you
of-
do an autopsy, but you learn so much.
I don't see why. The soul has moved on by then.
Some
as long
people
as it's
don't
done
like
with
the act of
dignity.
opening up a body just for the sake of opening up a body.
Would you indulge me a bit of intellectual curiosity as befits a student?
I can't do an autopsy here, but I can answer questions. That would make for a Paul buffet.
Oh, I'm quite confident that necrophagy is frowned upon at galas.
Yes, unfortunately, it's a very curious school of magic, but strictly forbidden.
By yourselves as well?
The legality on necrophagy is a grey area in Mantarathia. It's
Is this a conversation we should have on the balcony instead, or I don't see anyone else around right now.
codswallop to the lot of them if they think it's too squeamish for them. Strictly speaking,
carry on then.
if the consumption of the donor is applicable in a matter that was purely consensual before their passing, that they had consented to the actions, then consuming them post-mortem is, in theory, perfectly correct. It's for getting that written proven that they were of good sound mind and conscience. You know, that's the difficulty in procuring.
I mean, surely the Speak with Dead spell would just solve that in its entirety, right?
These things can be illusioned.
Yeah.
It's a lengthy paperwork process to go through, but for when you can do it, you know, we don't take any extra gluttonous approach. Although I'm told barbecue sauce helps the matter. Sorry.
Barbecue
Trying
sauce
to
helps
make
the
light
matter all
of
the
a heavy
time.
situation.
Oh no, it's not heavy at all. It's purely intellectual, and
But,
barbecue sauce improves most things.
But learning the intricacies of one's mind post-mortem and also carrying on that little bit of them afterwards, it's incredibly empowering.
Of course, incredibly humbling at the same time, I would imagine.
Yes. I have filled out the paperwork from when eventually I pass. I can't imagine it will be too long at this stage. If my successor will be the one to save lots of money on a burial plot.
Oh, sure, but it's a fascinating way to contribute to a legacy, I think.
It's simply recycling magic.
That too. I was wondering if one were to duplicate themselves, could you inherit that knowledge post-mortem on yourself? I'm aware of the clone spell. It's a conjuration spell.
It's not really the way that works. The clone spell, we get into the finicky pits of souls in the matter, and that's a heavily debated topic, but consuming oneself, yeah, that's purely for, you know, self-pleasure, I suppose.
Gratification, I guess.
Yes, it's
Is there just an interesting question?
well, you're not really going to learn much from what you already know. You're just going to...
Unless
still
those
know.
paths diverge.
Well, I suppose if the clone did go off and learn a lot of other stuff, then
Like a
after it had done that,
simulacrum
and then you...
to the like, yeah.
It's not heavily researched. It's something I would like more, but it's also... There is a worrying path of clone ethics to create someone purely for the purpose of consumption.
I mean, if it's yourself, surely you could consent to... I don't know, it keeps it in the family, so to speak.
Yes, but if you keep doing that, your spells might have webbed toes.
Sure, but it's nothing some mediocre transmutation can't solve.
It's something that needs to be researched more. I've thought of it. Many of us have, but it's also it's quite a costly procedure.
Yeah, that's the
Also,
problem.
in the laws of, can a clone consent to that?
Should a clone require consent?
Should a clone require consent? Ethics.
I want to be part of this
Fascinating.
conversation so badly.
It's
No.
where your conscience resides and your soul. It's the matter of the soul.
Clone
you know.
rights exist.
A lot of the red tape around
Fascinating.
this stuff.
Yeah, sure. Do you have a particular field of inquiry? I don't have much. Do you have a
Necromancy?
particular field? Oh, specialty rather. Like, is there something that really paradimensional spaces and extra-dimensional spaces are a particular level of interest to myself. I was wondering if there was something that every wizard has their thing, and it's always nice to kind of share notes.
I would like to think I am one of the forerunners who pushes the boundaries on what is really deemed reconstruction.
In what way?
Those who would disagree with me would call them an amalgamation of horrors, but I really think I've refined the best parts of each piece in the resurrection and usage of my thralls.
He's talking about Frankenstein, isn't he? Yeah, cool.
He's talking about getting like the wings from a dragon, like, you know,
yeah.
Mr. Potato Head and his fucking undead.
Leo now understands why this guy
There
was
is a lot
invited.
to be learned by the Emperor of Ghouls. That is a man with an eye for undeath.
I mean, you can't question his methods.
You can question the methods, but it's damn near difficult to argue with those results.
Oh, now that's a morbid but effective topic. Have you studied the Emperor of Ghouls?
I have done, boy, I have done. I'm not saying I would like to have an undead horde quite that large, but a wizard would be lying if he
We've-
didn't get jealous. His
Of
horde is bigger than mine.
course. How big's your horde?
It's sizable.
I just.
I
asked
imagine
him how
that's
big
why
it
Lord
was.
Tavis is
Jesus.
asked to speak. So,
Have you met Lord Tavis before?
no, not for. I've had writings with him. You're part of the employ. It's fine.
Oh yes,
We
quite so. Yes.
there was a young imperial dragon up near Arvora. We had it slain, so I could take the bits I needed and reconstruct a dragon. And it was quite exceptionally fruitful.
Lord Tavis does have an eye for unique expertise. What did you learn from the Imperial Dragon?
That I can bring back a dragon.
Pretty cool.
It was a young one, but I would be lying if I didn't want to get my hands on an ancient dragon.
You might
I mean,
have
if we're
the
going to believe all
opportunity
these
soon.
doomsday's prophecy, surely resurrecting dragons will only help us on the battlefield.
Privately between the two of us, we should.
I'll be curious if and when this all comes to pass, where the native draconic species of Quenthos will reside when the dragon can get you. The Great Worm in Arvor.
Well, yes. I'm a discreetly drop a in his service in draconic.
Yeah. I would hope that some of them would be immune to some of the prescribed effects, but we don't know. We'll see. Or maybe I will. Maybe my successor's successor will. But it's good to have this research done.
Professor, you're a man of pragmatism, by the sounds of it. Where do you stand on Doomsday?
It's always a matter of these things of when, not if. I don't know if I'll be around, but perhaps some of my research will. I think it would be a fool's game to ignore it and hope for it to never happen. If we all only worry about it as someone else's problem down the line, no one will be ready for it when it comes.
Perhaps I'm being a little bit too bold in asking, but how are you preparing? Obviously, there's going to be abundance of resources, but I'm a neophyte to the School of Necromancy. What capabilities would you have in place? Obviously, Undead Horde is always useful, but...
Undead Horde is always useful, but resurrections galore, bringing people back. Working on... For those great heroes long past, whose souls are so ill wont to return, to get their mortal shell to still do the fighting if the spirit's not willing.
Oh, this is what Lord Tavis was asking Leo about the other... It's just clicked in Leo's brain. How does that work?
Well, you'll have to forgive me for not answering my prize knowledge. It's,
Sure, but a wizard must, right?
I can respect the attempt.
Perhaps in the future, a bit of professional curiosity. Forgive me if I've overstepped.
Yeah. We're arcanists. All we do is overstep.
Oh, yes. Well, we don't know the definition of the word enough, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's just one more scroll, one more spell, one more hour transcribing.
Yes, what's sleep for the week?
You're not wrong. Where did I put...
What have you lost?
The trinket. Mind of its
What
own.
trinket? I've got a keen eye.
Some other time, Pat, he gets up and you see he just starts chasing something like throughout the room.
See you, mate.
I don't think this trinket is real. I think this trinket is this awkward guy's way of getting out of conversations. We'd be like, oh no, my trinket's run away.
Is Rhea free?
Rhea's free.
Yeah,
Rhea
sure.
Leo will come and just plop down next to Rhea.
I'd say at this point, like, her conversation with, like, Jessa and the Magister have probably ended, and she's probably just, like, sitting at a table with Gaiva. They're just, like, having some snacks.
Oh, food, thank God.
Hi, yes, here. And she'll, like, move her plate over to share with you. You know there is a
yeah.
whole bar of food, right?
Oh, yes, but this is yours and it's easy to steal.
Rude.
Come on, if we're talking about stealing food, Rhea.
At a fancy party?
Never. I expect nothing less. How'd you talk with Jessa and the...
Awkward.
It was the dagger, right? The Magister.
Dagger the Depths, yeah.
Yeah.
The Magister.
Awkward. That doesn't
Awkward.
sound like you at all.
What do you mean? Of course it does. We're at a fancy party. I don't know what I'm doing. I pointed at somebody. It was a bad take.
Oh, you mean that person? And Leo will deliberately point.
I just smack his hand.
What the hell with it? People here aren't any different to anyone else.
I'm just trying to... I'm trying not to stand out as much as I can, considering that I have pink hair and ears and a tail. So
The ears are a bit of a giveaway. Tail, not so much.
what about you? Are you having a good time?
I just had a wonderfully enlightening conversation with the professor of necromancy.
Oh yeah, he told me about how I died. He could
Yeah,
technically
he'll do
looking
that.
at me.
He's
Kind of awkward.
an interesting character. I see why Lord Tavis invited him. They're all interesting.
I mean, that's
All of
the
the
point, right?
interesting in a very particular way.
Do I get what he's saying?
Do you? That's up to you.
I don't know. I feel like Rhea is very out of her depths with this one and just kind of like missing a lot of stuff she wouldn't normally because she's like trying really hard not to do bad social etiquette.
Roll me an insight.
Okay.
I'm not being very subtle, but Kyvan's right there.
Yeah. 16. So, yeah, I guess so.
I'd say
Unless
you
you
do.
think so. Yeah. Hair. I don't know. I don't know what exactly our jobs here are supposed to be honest with you. It wasn't really laid out.
Kyvan, could I steal Rhea for perhaps a few minutes? I'd like to have a dance with my surrogate.
By all means, you'll find someone to bother.
Thank
Stand
you.
there and just-
Come on, let's dance.
Okay, I've gotten better.
I saw doing
Your
quite well.
sister's done wonders.
Oh yes, she can be a menace for sure, but she's a miracle on the dance floor.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, it's very helpful for when I forget that I have to lead.
Ah, you
Yes,
have to lead. I don't know how to do that.
That's fine. I've got it. But yeah, for all of her benefits, Maddie doesn't like to be told what to do. It's a character flaw.
Neither of you do.
I could follow rules anyway.
Sure,
Sorry, give me
you
2
could
secs.
follow rules, yeah.
I could. I won't,
Mhm.
but I could.
Sure. I don't believe that. If somebody had some super amazing magic thing and they were like, hey, you have to break the rules to get this thing, you would in a heartbeat and then worry about the consequences after.
Yes,
Exactly.
of course. Bria, were you understanding what I was saying? I didn't really want to be too obvious in front of Kyvan.
I mean, I kind of have an assumption of it, but like, I figure what
Everyone
you
here
mean.
is a doomsday weapon of their own.
People aren't
in their-
weapons.
Oh, some of them are.
They're still people. Weapons
Oh,
don't have...
people can be two things,
Sure.
but each one of these has a capability of.
Person with an immense destructive power, yes.
Yeah, that one. I'm glad you speak Leo.
I would have to at this point.
I was talking to Emmeline before. I think we're at work here.
I wish they would have told us, because I don't know how
Yeah.
to do this well.
There are some things you know how to do exceptionally well.
Not this.
Be charming.
I
Make
don't do that
friends.
intentionally.
It's what makes you charming, my love.
I'll try, I guess.
Break social cues. Genuinely, I'm not being mean here, but break social cues. It'll be a delightful breath of fresh air.
Can I get that in writing so if I get in trouble, I can blame you?
Gladly. I will put my name to this advice.
Thanks.
But go and charm some people. Make them see that the Tavises aren't scary.
Oh, is that why we're here? I mean,
Not just that. See how they can help. See what their intentions are.
do you have any advice for who I should talk to?
Literally anyone.
Emily's friend
But
was nice.
whose friend?
Emmeline's friend. The prince guy?
Oh, Prince Rindle.
Yeah, he looks busy though. Let me see.
Who's he talking to? Is he
He
still
was-
talking
Tavis.
to Daddy T?
Yeah.
Now, that's a conversation I probably wouldn't break social graces with.
No, probably not. The last time I broke social graces with Lord Tavis, he was very kind to point me in a don't do that kind of direction. So,
Yes, a benefactor is nothing but generous.
see,
Uh,
exactly.
I'll tell you what.
Hmm.
Why don't I pick someone out for you?
Okay, that works.
You've eaten enough of his food for free. Why don't you go and fuck, what's the name of the Jurakeem? Garcia. Why don't you go and introduce yourself to Garcia Vakar and
I've eaten his
Kelstrom
food.
Karshoon? No, you've eaten the headmaster's food.
Oh yeah, true.
He's talking
He's
to
not
the
gonna like
Jurakeem
me, I
over there.
don't think.
Oh, I think he's a little bit more tolerable than you give him credit for.
Oh well, his kitchen staff aren't.
Well, man, Lord Tavis is not responsible for the actions of his staff all the time, so
That'd be fair. Okay, I'll go talk to them. That works.
go get him. Thank you for the notes. You're
Mhm.
wonderful,
Thank you for the
by the way.
direction. If you see Kyvan, you did tell him where I am. I guess I don't. He's very tall, but I don't see him, so he must be sitting down somewhere.
Do I spot him?
Yeah, so you see Kyvan has just interjected into Lord Tavis and Rowan Rindle's conversation.
Legend.
Oh
Legend.
no!
And at this point, there's like you hear like blades get drawn from Rowan Rindle's guards as you see Kyvan, and actually now to the excitement of both Rowan and Lord Tavis, he pulls out his sword and they're looking at like the vicious sword, the +2 that Kyvan carries, and the craftsmanship of the world below, because this is new to both Rowan and Lord Tavis, and they're like,
They're just excited. Thank you for
Nerds.
not just saying they're comparing swords in the middle of the gala.
no, only Kyvan pulled out his sword.
Kaufman has his sword out.
He
Yeah.
whipped it out.
He's waving it around.
But at this point, you do see that Rowan, as well as this is happening, pulls out this large, kind of engraved
Yeah, he does.
sapphire, like pendant, and hands it to Lord Tavis as a gift.
Ooh. Very
But-
fancy.
Rhea, you're trying to find the Gasir and the Kaelstrom Karshoon.
This is
Yes.
everything that I want.
So as you see the two of them are on the
I
balcony,
hate you.
they're
No, you
talking
don't.
like almost like more hushed tones as you're approaching.
Yeah, get 'em.
I
Get 'em.
see that they're talking in hushed tones. I'm gonna grab like a small plate of like pastries or something from the food table.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna go and be like, excuse me.
Kaelstrom looks and goes, Wisteria?
Yes. I just wanted to say thank you for letting me stay with Leo for so long.
Oh. By all means. Garcia, this is a ne'er-do-well homeless kitsune that steals food and lodging from my lyceum. As you see the Garcia just like chuckles this like, oh, that's funny.
Like she definitely blushes a bit embarrassed, like just the tips of her like hair and everything to go a bit more red. She's like,
Kaelstrom looks
"Ah."
goes, I jest. You're more than welcome to stay. It's
I guess I'm a bit of a daredevil, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But now he has his own house that he can make, so that's fine, right?
yes, that's how that works. Since you have your own place to stay, the months and years, well, not years, the months that you have
Just
stolen boarding
months,
and
yeah.
food, that cancels out.
I took a very little room, at least.
Yes. Unfortunately, we don't charge by how much room you take up per room. It's by room.
I didn't go to any classes.
I don't know if that makes it worse.
Oh, I thought it might make it better because then I'm not like stealing knowledge.
No, we're all for the expansion of knowledge.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. The way my papa really taught me magic was really different than the way you guys do magic, though.
I'm sure it was enlightening.
Can I just like spout off some like weird, like high level stuff just to kind of throw him off a bit that I, as a player, do not understand, like how
Sure,
to
roll me an Arcana
accomplish?
check.
Nice, cool, thanks. I don't know what my modifier is for Arcana. I think it's just 0. I don't know where my mouse is either. There it is. Hee hee. Arcana is... Yeah, it's 0. So it's a 15.
15. As you see, the Gessier Vokar looks at you, but which is very odd because he's just completely blindfolded. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're recalling that in incorrect sequence, but it's impressive that you almost got there.
It's been a while. I haven't really been keeping up my studies because my magic doesn't really work that way. It just kind of happens.
Sorcerer.
Yeah. Although I
have
was
many
taught
of-
the fundamentals, they're just kind of...
We have a
They
few
feel
of
very
those.
constrictive.
Mostly rune children, but
Rune children? What's that?
it's a type of sorcerer that is very intended to be a sorcerer.
Well, you said rune, so I was thinking maybe it had something to do with rune magic.
It does. It's similar.
That's very cool. I've been learning recently. I only know a few, though.
The host for the babe is inscribed with lots of runes before the birth.
Oh, interesting. So it's kind of like making sorcerers instead of just like them
Exactly.
happening. I didn't know you could do that. That's interesting.
Very few
Is
people
there
can.
any particular reason why you would want to like ensure a sorcerer?
Crafted prodigy is easy to control.
Oh, interesting. Huh. I'd never thought about it like that.
It's a passed down tradition where I'm from, or where I was from.
Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking.
You're very not from civilized lands, are you?
I'm from very deep in the world, yes.
That is forgivable. I am a Joaquin, my dear. We hail from one place, the island of Zikir, the archives of Arasan.
I'm pretty sure I've heard Leo talk about that before. I have met one other Jorhakin, but unfortunately he passed away shortly after meeting him.
Well, if you saw him and he was wandering outside so far without other Joaquin, you can be assured he's an exile, or was an exile.
Is it a regrettable thing?
That depends on who the person is. I don't regret my exile.
Well, I'm glad it's not something that causes you pain then.
It was wholly worth it.
Can I ask what was worth it? I'm sorry, I don't really know a lot about things. So if I ever overstep, please just tell me not to. And
That's all right. I like a curious mind. You know
That's one
nothing of
thing
the
I definitely-
archives at all?
I know that they're very big and they're hard to get into or something.
My people collect artifacts and knowledge that could see the end of the cosmos as you know it. And
I
they
can understand
protect
why it's hard
it.
to get in there.
They think no one should know this knowledge. It should be studied and replicated purely in controlled manners, and it should be locked away. Well, I had found something and wished to study it, and they did not quite.
What'd you find?
Perhaps when we are better acquainted, I can tell you my research.
That one's too much. That's fair.
It's knowledge capable of ending a cosmos.
I can understand why somebody would want to make sure that that's handled with care.
Yes, but a small council decides who should be in care of what. They don't like it when you go against them.
That's one thing that bureaucracy, I think is what they call it here. It drives me crazy.
Yes, there is that and
Money
much
is also
more.
very weird.
Money?
Yeah, well, in the
don't
world we
need
use a
it.
barter system. Exactly! You're the first person to agree with me on that. Everyone else talks about how important
The
it is for
Jorhakin are
everything.
a self-sufficient society.
Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah. In the world we rely on bartering. Like, there's no point in carrying around this heavy thing that can't do anything if you're in trouble. You can't eat it. You can't use it to defend yourself. You can't do anything with it. It just
You
weighs you
can
down.
use it to defend yourself.
Yeah, put it in a sock.
Not compared to like a sword
You see,
or
he just
magic.
pulls, unfolds one of his arms, gives a flick of his fingers. You see a coin just levitates up and starts spinning and just across the room.
Okay, you have to show me how to do that.
How are you with psionics?
Oh, not very. Unfortunately.
Regrettable.
Yeah. Although that would be really cool if you could just have like a cloud of little coins and just...
Yeah, they wouldn't do much damage, but it is a fun effect.
It would be flashy. And depending on what you're fighting, if it gets distracted by shiny objects, it could be very helpful.
Would you be the kind to get distracted by shiny objects?
I absolutely would. Yeah.
You see in that stage, like, Kelstrom just kind of chuckles a little bit.
Why? Like, there's so many manufactured things that you can't get deep in the world. Or if you can, they're very, very rare. Where here's they're just like... People take so much time into things in ways that you can't always do. Like, for instance, and she'll like walk over to like the table and bring out like a golden laid fucking carved in fancy ass spoon. Like this had to have taken hours and hours to make. By hand at least, unless you're doing magic, and then I can see where that would make things go faster. But like, yes, there are things like that in the world, but if so, they're going to be things that you keep with you for a really long time. Not something that you have like tons and tons of lying around, you know? Because if so, why would you put that much time into it? Because you can't keep it with you if you have to move. You would have to leave it behind. And it's just the level of detail and intricacy put into everything around here is impressive. And there's a craftsmanship to it that I think is interesting.
How quaint.
Just,
So
I guess
nice
it's a different way of prioritizing.
He kind of
things.
gestures to the eye mask. I don't see much, so.
I wasn't sure how it worked. I didn't want to be rude and make any assumptions. You can feel the differences though, and she'll like go over to like put it in her hand and like rub.
As
all
he
over.
kind of puts one hand up as you go to put it over. I see in a different way, darling.
How does it work? What is it like?
Well, I don't know how you see, so I don't quite know how to describe it other than normal, but
Do you
the
have
best way
colors?
I've heard it taught is we Jorhakin see by the way the weave of magic wraps around everything. So I see faint outlines of everything.
So if the weave isn't connected with a person, you can't see them?
There are few and fewer people that are cut off completely from the weave. Even the most base imbecile commoner is wrapped by the weave.
Ah.
Magic moves through the air as he kind of just moves his hand across. It is all around us. It is just us who know how to grab it. That can
Does that mean that
manufacture excellence from it. But everything, that spoon you picked up, the tables, the weave wraps around it all.
So we're all playing with something we can't see, yet you can see it. The fact
Yes,
that we can
and
play with it at all is really interesting.
There's very few Joaquin that can't affect the weave.
I think that makes sense. Do you see colors?
No.
Or is it all just one thing? Huh. I wonder what the weave looks like. Make it sound like a dust.
It's more like a spider web over everything.
Have you spoken with the Signatrix before? Because she was talking about a ladder earlier, and she was talking about how
A lattice?
Lattice. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I thought she said
He
lattice.
chuckles
My
to
bad.
himself a lot there.
Sorry, I forgot. Oh.
Perfection. This conversation's everything Leo wanted.
But how it comes
Yes.
off of the weave.
Not off of the weave, adjacent to the weave.
How does that work?
It's... The lattice is not everywhere. It is in select charged locations.
So it can only manifest or be created in places where there's enough magic to support its structure?
Essentially similar.
Interesting. So it's kind of like how you can only cast a ritual if you do all of the ritual components.
Similar, but the problem is most people who touch the lattice are unmade.
Oh, that's because mortals aren't meant to.
They're not.
Yeah.
But
It
pride will
causes
make
a
you
lot of
want to
that.
try.
Yeah, that's something I don't have a lot of.
Well, there was 10 mages in Mantarithia long ago, and one of them lived the ordeal.
Oh, is that the ones that picked up the top of the mountain?
Yes. They touched the lattice
Yeah.
with it.
It
Touch the
not
ladder.
very elegantly, unfortunately.
No, but it has been heavily studied.
The lattice has?
No, their feat of dropping a mountain on Casselius forces.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be, right? Humanity's really weird, huh?
Cannot pick who your neighbors are.
True. Civilization is definitely weird. I don't know. There are parallels.
It's worth it at times.
I don't doubt that. There's just a lot of it that seems quite contradictory to me.
As you're kind of talking, Kelstrom goes, it's not all bad. You can always find free room and board to sleep in civilization.
True. And there's less giant beasts who want to eat you.
There's plenty that wishes to do you harm. Now, I tell you what's weirder than all of that is the void.
Oh, I bet. I've never been, but I was talking with the Magister lady earlier, and she was very interesting.
The Magister lady, the abyss, different to the void.
Oops. How?
The abyss is a place. It is one of the realms of existence. The void is everything that connects. It's here, and the table that you're at, you see, he takes like 4 little pastries and he puts them all around. Imagine these are some of the planets, the realms of existence.
Mhm.
All the empty space between them. That's the void.
How does that work with here in the other place? Like talking about like the other side of the world, because there's the whole plane of water that separates us, but that would generally be a different place. But it's also
That's the
here, but it's
same.
also not.
So he picks up like an apple off one of the tables, and
Mhm.
he gets a knife and he carves out a line, like a ring around it.
Mhm.
One half is on one side, one half is on the other. Still the same planet.
So, but the other planes isn't like the plane of fire in a different place, or is that wrong?
So that is on this planet. They are not
Okay,
their
so
own
it's-
planet. They're called planes, but they're not technically speaking.
Got it. Yeah, that was something I was always confused because it made me think that planes were like different planets, but they're not all like that. So I wasn't sure what the difference
All of
is.
them bar the elemental planes are. That was an unfortunate name that came from an early theory. But from our common knowledge of understanding now, the elemental planes reside on
all
Quintus.
exist on. Got it.
The original people that traversed them thought they had gone to other planes, as in the other planes of existence. But
They didn't realize that they were on this. Okay, that makes sense. So then, even before the old gods came here and made like elves and then everything from that, the elemental plane of water is still the thing that divided the two, like, continents.
it still had the ring around it, but it wasn't as tumultuous. That's thanks to the
Right.
Farwalker.
Was it an intentional thing or just like a byproduct?
It is an intentional thing, we believe. You, my dear, should attend the history classes in the Lyceum.
I wouldn't
You
be
might
opposed,
even
although
enjoy them.
Oh, I like learning things a lot. It's just I tend to annoy the people who are teaching me because I ask too many questions.
A patient private tutor, perhaps, then. I suppose that's what Leo is, then.
Yeah, he doesn't like it very much, though. I tend to derail him.
I can see
You were
that.
muted if you were to be. No, my Papa
It's-
Rally was a great teacher, though.
In terms
he
of
focused more on
sorcery,
the magics.
history is important.
Yeah, I don't know mine, though.
It is something you should pull at.
I was found under a peach tree. It would be hard to.
I won't get into the intricacies of why it wouldn't be hard to, but there's many ways you can.
What do you mean?
That is entirely School of Magic and discussion that would take far too long to explain at a gala when I've had wine.
Ah.
I would not be
have
the eloquent professor to do that.
If you had to show the class on a listing of other ones for other people to take, how would you describe it?
Prescient elves are very obsessed with time and history of everything that has come to and have found ways to explore what's passed through their own mind.
Ooh.
To revisit, not to change, but a way to view one's own conscious in a waking state of everything that has happened to you.
Would it? Yeah, you have to show the Prescient elf all of that as well.
No, it would be magic taught to you.
Got it. Interesting. So it's different than divination.
It's harder than divination.
Ah. Hmm.
It's to do with the temporal magics.
Hmm. So it's just called temporal magics, in case I want to try to look into it later.
Temporal magic would be the base of it.
Okie dokie. Thank you for explaining.
We sometimes have guest speakers in the Lyceum from Mount Ondi. If we have one, I'll let Leo know, and perhaps you can come and view it.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've taken a lot of your time.
Yes,
I'm really sorry.
That's all right. Can see it. As they go back to their conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were just kind of like, what to do is away.
Leo just watching. This is everything he wanted and more.
Maria doesn't feel like she's really done a whole lot. She just had a conversation.
Yep, great.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
That worked out.
You got a laugh out of the Joe Hakeem. Well done.
Come back, Leo.
You did marvelously.
So I've learned about temporal magics. Apparently, I can try to use that eventually at some point, maybe to learn about where I came from. I've never really been interested, but now I'm a little interested.
The professor has that way with people.
Well, apparently it can help with my sorcery stuff, and considering everything that's going on, it might be better to know more about my sorcery stuff.
It would help, certainly.
Why?
Continuous improvement.
I mean, I guess
We
like
look.
so much sorcery stuff is lineage based, so it's kind of helpful to know where you came from. But I don't even know
Yeah.
if that's where my stuff comes from.
That's why I obsess about history so much. Learn from
Yeah,
the
but you do it
past
in
to
such a
improve the
nerdy
future.
way.
Oh, there's a cool way to study history?
No, probably not.
Yeah,
Sorry, Raph.
I do it the right way.
I don't know, but there's definitely more boring ways to do it.
Well, boring's a perspective. You did incredibly well.
I just went and talked.
Yeah.
They didn't eat the pastries they brought.
They did use them to make a diorama, though.
They did.
Fucking
It
nerds.
was, yeah, it was great.
But yeah. So I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna go get something to drink.
Yes. I'm gonna mingle.
Oh, Kyvan looks like he's having fun. Okay, have fun.
Oh god, they've got swords.
Let it be. They're fine. If
So
Lord Tavis hasn't
uncivilized.
kicked him out, it's fine. It's his party after all.
Well, I suppose so.
I'm just gonna go get a drink or something.
Yep.
Emily and Leo, would either of you like to approach anyone?
Do you have anything, Nate, before I go?
No, you go first. I gotta figure out what I want to do.
Right. Do I see this a certain blood mage lingering around? What's his name? Sabrian? Sabrian?
Yeah, Sabrian.
Yep. Sabrian. Is he around? Can I see him lingering?
So let me double check where he would be right now. So in the order of events, you would find Sabrian. He is currently out on a balcony that's overlooking a lot of the Carrican Bay. Just has a small pipe, just smoking out in the balcony.
Okay. I will go approach him. I hope you do not mind if I interrupt. You seem to be having a peaceful moment.
Yeah, by all means. If you need to interrupt, interrupt. I can offer you some tobacco.
No, I'm all right. Thank you, though. She sort of looks out on the view. Quite a beautiful spot here.
It's quite nice. I'm not one for the water, but alas.
It's nice to look at the very least. I was intrigued if we could talk a bit more about what you mentioned earlier.
And what did I mention?
Something about silence and all of that.
But you sound very so mysterious when I want to.
You definitely do.
Yes. Emmeline, how else could I help you today?
I was wondering what else you could tell me, what you know.
Well, are you putting the screws on me?
No, not yet. Not unless you ask.
Well, I don't
But
know.
no, I am not. No.
I know a worrisome amount about people.
Understandable.
Are we going to be stoic off here and see who speaks first? Or?
No. I've put forward what I wish to talk about. If you do not wish to talk about it, that is.
You'll forgive
All
me.
right.
In your secrecy, I didn't glean exactly which topic you wish to converse about. It was very broad.
No, before when we met, you made a reference about my rapier, my weapons. You mentioned it.
I did, didn't I?
Yes. Hence my reference to it. In cryptic ways, but the same ways that you refer to it. I hoped you would remember from that.
I must be getting dementiated in my old age.
Wait,
Yeah, like, I don't quite know what to tell you, my dear. How does your mother Lyra feel about it?
I haven't told her. Good trick, by the way, hoping to catch me off guard and make me stumble and splutter, releasing information like that.
I have to test your gall.
Only natural. I'm at a distinct disadvantage here, though, knowing nothing about you. It's hardly fair.
I get you're the type of person that very much so dislikes that. You strike me
I
as the
think
type
in
of person that wants
certain
to know
circum-
everything about their target before you speak to them.
That would be ideal, but quite often that is not the case. And quite often that is something that we have to live with and adapt to as it comes.
How are we adapting right now?
Quite well.
Excellent. It would be so much more entertaining if you knew the words. Only be so
You say
picky.
that, and yet you have not told me what you mean by the words.
Well, I can't. Ever so kindly. You'll forgive me. My secrecy. I had thought I was in presence of someone else in the know. When you confirmed for me that you did not, in fact, know, that severely limited what I could do for you.
Unfortunate then.
Yes. I'll leave you parting with this. Consider what sort of groups involved with blood magic could have led to that little rapier of yours finding its way into Favendel.
Well put.
Would you get to dance?
Certainly.
This man is like bone. He's very lanky.
Yeah.
Like
He is a creepy
you're getting a
skeleton dude.
Voldemort style like holes for like the dance.
Draco. Yeah.
But it does
That's
kind of
disgusting,
like
Jack.
I don't know how much Emmeline's thought of how that rapier ended up in Favendel, but perhaps this is a thread.
Perhaps this is the thread. But motherfucker isn't saying anything.
Not yet.
Guys are just over here being like, I want my secrets. I'll keep my secrets. Just like
They're
skulls off.
mine, so I get to do with them as I please.
Just like,
Rep, that's literally you every campaign. What are you talking about?
how rude.
How much have you
Please.
told us about
Never.
your character, her backstory, and her life?
There's nothing to tell. There's nothing to tell there. That
Bullshit.
You guys don't know.
Des wouldn't
There's
let you make a
nothing.
boring character.
There's nothing already there.
Des wouldn't let
Um,
you make a boring character. It would be okay. Let's work on this a little bit more.
Emmeline's
Don't you lie
just
to
here
me.
to sell prints.
Boring.
That's it.
Boring. Yeah, exactly. No.
That's
Confirmed.
literally you.
Leo.
It's not me.
Is Nathan remembering this wrong? House Shy Theory was where
Wyrant
Irilin was
was from.
from, right?
Sorry, say
Yeah,
again?
but is that the Living Codex?
Yes, that was Chaya Theory.
Yes, same house.
Yes.
Wonderful. That sounds like an interesting line of inquiry, and I wonder if they're working on a new one. Leo would like to go and see if Wyranth of House Shy Theory is floating about.
She is. She kind of meets your gaze.
Leo
Well,
looks up. Lady Shy Theory, it's a pleasure to meet another Stardust above the surface.
I will say Nate's probably forgetting that you were inside Kaelstrom's hole with her.
Oh, Wyranth, yes. Oh, Wyranth is Wyranth. Oh
Nerd
my
club.
god! No, this is my brain short circuiting.
Dementia. It's okay,
Nate's like,
dementia.
I'm making a million
Gray of
connections all at
dementia's
once.
hitting hard.
Yeah, no, it's early. But Wyrinth
you're
is
fine.
she's hanging out with Kevin, right?
Yeah,
Like-
with Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Kevin?
No, Kevin, yeah.
Kevin. No, Kevin.
That's his surface
Kevin.
name. It's
Yeah,
easier for
Kevin.
people to
That.
pronounce.
I'm Kevin.
Hate that.
It's hard for Leo to translate it from Starless into Draconic and then into Common.
It actually translates
But Wyrinth
perfectly to
isn't.
Kevin in Draconic.
Yeah, it's great. No, then I'm not going to do that because I don't need to do that because I've hung out with Wyrinth quite a bit. I was brain farting there.
I figured you were when you said Lady Chitari. I was like, she's actively been talking scrolls with you.
Yeah, we've been vibing for ages. Shit, I'm gonna go see Eggy.
Okay. So as you go, Lord Eggarth is kind of like surrounded by a couple of people from House Tavis, like Urberg, Carol. He seems to be like talking to them about that, talking about some runes that they'd found and sold off the information to Eggarth.
I'll just
Lionel!
go and stand next to No, Leo, please. Lionel is too formal. We're amongst friends.
Well, I didn't know we were that close so far, but Leo, how are you?
We should always default to friendship. Very, very well, thank you. I see our competitor team is serving you quite well.
Well, I've bought information from House Tavis before, so rivals.
Oh, I
but-
was referring to Kyvan and
Kyvan
Wyrinth,
and
of
Wyrinth. Oh,
course.
they're
They-
excellent.
I don't doubt it. They've we stumbled upon them by accident in competition, but we've struck up quite the friendship. It's nice to have a friendly rivalry.
Yes, I'm keen to see who should prove more useful, them to me or you to House Tavis. I still remember that you all turned down my offer of employ. I'm not jaded.
We did. Please accept that it's no reflection on yourself. But the Tavises are a unique house that has what's the word? Nathan's brain is short circuiting at the moment. That have adopted us very well. We found a home with them.
Well, we're all on the same side, really, at the end of the day.
Yes, there is only one side.
How are you finding this evening? Are this sort of soiree your thing?
I was raised in this sort of environment, much like yourself. It's
Oh,
not my preferred.
That's where you and I
It's
differ.
my birth.
We did not have this sort of soiree.
Really?
Not this sort, but to say I wasn't raised with a silver spoon, it would be wrong. But no, not quite my family's purview.
Yes, this events such as these were a important political tradition, shall I say?
Well, considering who your father is,
Yes, but appearances must be maintained. If you catch my drift.
I understand. It's these soirees are fun, but ever so draining.
Yes, everyone's trying to work, right? There's
That's
no
it. It's,
relaxation.
It's a sprinkling of good conversations amongst, say, a lot of attempts at coercion and employ.
Perhaps we'll give both of us a bit of respite. And I was wondering, do you play cards?
I don't play cards, but I do play a mean chess.
Now you're talking. I look around. Does
don't
Leo
think
get the sense that if he conjures a chessboard, will that be too gauche?
As you're doing that, you see Lord Egarth pulls out of his pocket this little rolled up travel size, and he kind of unfurls and puts pops on the corners. Takes out little pieces. I always carry a miniature set
You
with
are.
me. For the travel.
Fucking nerds.
I can sniff him a mile away. White or black?
He takes white piece and black piece, shuffles them behind his back, holds two close hands towards you.
Left.
You get the black pieces.
Good enough. I don't mind starting on the defensive.
It's all right. As he begins, shall we play speed or just relaxed?
Just relaxed. There's way too much work happening tonight.
All right. As he begins moving the pieces, are you proficient in chess?
I think we've said that Leo is, but let me check I come with a dragon chess set. It doesn't.
And your
I don't
little
think it's an
hero
actual
figurine
proficiency.
it
Yeah.
comes with
Yeah, I've got a dragon chess set, but it's not in my proficiencies. But I don't think dragon chess is a proficiency.
It is.
Oh, then no.
So roll me just d20 plus int.
Yeah, fantastic. Balls. That is 8.
8. Lord Egarth starts moving the pieces he's playing very an open position. He starts trading off a lot of the pieces early on to kind of get towards a more crunchy end game. He's quite good. But as you sit there just kind of idly talking, so what have you employed with the Tavises, or what is not under lock and key? How's it been?
The generous benefactors. Although I fear that was not an option of. There was no option of avoiding that. The offer with yourself was equally generous.
Perhaps I would have. But I've always tried to take care of those under my employ. I think the Tavises are similar.
Of course. Kyvan and Wyrith speak nothing but highly of you.
Well, the rest of them aren't bad too, and I hope they speak well of me too.
Well, they're the ones I'm closest to. Can't make friends with everyone.
Alas.
Wyrith is quite the chess player herself.
She is. Apparently they hadn't picked up on the en passant rule from Randrum that came about a few hundred years ago, but we once talked. Oh
yes, but it really changed the game.
It is mandatory.
I know it's mandatory. There are
That's just
times
a Des.
not
I
to
love
choose
I love
it,
the memes.
Yeah.
En passant.
I love anarchy chess. But yes, the work has been interesting and instructive, and Lord Tavis brings with him immense knowledge, which really scratches my wizard brain.
It's endless possibility.
It certainly is.
I tell you, the
I'm not a...
Oh, sorry, you were about to start.
No.
So was I.
No. Why don't you go? I think I was just filling the space.
I was going to say the that one that you'd all owed me that the Tavis has sent to get covered. I think you would have liked it. I won't lie. I think you would have liked it.
Oh, go on.
You
the
ask.
mind.
You come on, indulge me.
Yeah, come on. All right, indulge me then.
So the ruins appeared to be. They were. It was.
Oh shit! I've just left my bishop hanging.
You have, and that's mate.
Yes, another game. While we're talking,
why not? We'll swap colors, but
I'll start setting it up.
It was a pre-dawn ruin, and it was dated back to, possibly speaking, one of the first interactions that the mortal races that were brought over with the guiding light interacted, and perhaps the first mortal telling of the Onyx Great Worm.
It.
Yes,
Sorry,
and we learned a lot about the
but,
history as well, but it was quite telling.
Son of Avagrad. The Damn. Who cracked it?
Another group I have. They're a group that I've worked with for a few years.
But
I don't
not
believe
the
you've met.
Starless.
No, this was before that.
Oh. Well, bugger.
There was a lot of early religious texts about the Guiding Light that Wyrant was very excited to look over when they came to me. But yes, there was a quite the scuffle between early Star Elves and the Onyx Great Worm.
Well, the Onyx Great Worm obviously would have proved successful.
Well, he did not do too badly, but it was mostly a misconceived notion based on what they believed Draconics to be from their own lore that they knew, and the Onyx Great Worm did not quite line up with what they thought, and the pursuit did not continue.
Good. Like I said, it's always better to make friends.
It does actually have slightly, I won't say contradictory, but the constant thought that the Onyx Great Worm is a timeless being. It does now provide credence to the theory that the Onyx Great Worm is capable of asexual reproduction. And that there has been, in theory, up to this, well, it lives a great long time, but there may have been as many as 3 or 4 Onyx Great Worms.
Reincarnating himself through.
We don't know.
unification.
This is the excellence of it. It's a new thing to pull at.
Awesome.
Yes. We're not sure if it's something
Would
all
I-
too dissimilar to a phoenix.
Yes. No. I follow.
Told you would have
Would it
liked
be too? Would it be too forward to come and look over the notes and reminisce about what could have been?
We'll see if we can give you a redacted version.
Professional, personal curiosity, more like it.
I understand,
Not
but
for
my employees,
Yeah.
I could do so much more.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, but I'm in too deep now, and
I understand.
wouldn't-
Perhaps we can,
I wouldn't want to put Carol in a
If I-
position where he'd have to kill me.
if you, he's a good man for it. But
Yes.
perhaps if you put a request in with your employers, maybe we can find the right trade-off of information.
I'll ask. I feel like that'd be a bit of an indulgence. I might be due an indulgence soon. Oh, you've
lost
forgotten
again.
the castle. Yes, I have lost. Shit. I'm
So-
not usually this bad at chess. Anyway.
Agath just does like the chess pro thing where he stares at the board for a few seconds, stands up, shakes his hand, walks off.
Leo has been playing like balls all night, but he wasn't really playing to play.
You get the feeling that your underperformance was making Egarth more keen to talk.
Yeah.
He was enjoying it thoroughly. But as all of you convene again, or does anyone wish to go to anyone particular?
I'm happy to reconvene now.
Yeah.
I'm happy to reconvene.
Dig up the kids.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys: all of you, have you spoken to whoever you want to speak to?
I think
Okay.
so.
I've got notes for this. That's not-
The Ember Rift erupts.
I just got my ass kicked in chess twice.
I learned about a new kind of magic.
Sabrian's very strange.
There's a lot of strange people here.
We're here, so yeah.
But
They're in the room
for once,
with
I
us.
don't feel like the outsider.
Oh, I do. Very much so.
So at this point, there's lively entertainment that's happening throughout the room. But can I get passive perceptions actually?
Oh, just the passive one? Oh, that's
Just the
Garbo.
12.
Not the Garbo. 14.
12.
14. Emily, I'd say you notice a couple people come into the grand hall. Slipping off to various people, you see someone goes over to Prince Rindal, someone goes over to Essel, someone goes to Headmaster Karshoon, and someone goes directly to Lord Tavis. After a couple seconds, there's a bit of a hush throughout the crowd, and Lord Tavis takes the stage, his expression grim. He holds up a hand and silence spreads throughout the room. Well, some of you mayhaps just heard what news comes to be. For those of you yet to learn, I must break this to you now. 4 new Ember Rifts have just manifested across the realm, greater and more violent than any we have seen yet. Reports confirm now that Prince Calasindir Thalkazir was among the wounded in the rifts. As of this moment, we know that there's 4 new ones appeared. Near Worm's Rest, high in the mountains in Arvora. Northwest of Valocrest in Randrum. Deep within the halls of Mount Ondai, where the Prescients dwell. And along the storm-racked shores of the Arkhold, where Knights Most Valiant hold vigil. I apologize to the sudden end of these festivities, but I must convene with my envoys and agents. We must figure out how to respond to this crisis. But I make no hesitation declaring this. House Tavis has been studying these rifts as they have appeared. We've even closed few of them. We're confident we'll be able to close these new ones, but I'm sorry that is where the festivities for myself and my envoys must end. We must. Those of you who wish to stay, please, the drinks will flow, but be warned. Chaos comes. As there's like a lot of sudden movement for some people. Clearing out of the room. The air immediately changes as most of the Tavis agents are just like flocking to where Lord Tavis is.
Us too.
Yeah, I go and grab Maddie's hand and we walk over.
He's as you all kind of get over there, you see he's like deep in conversation with Jessa, Lady Tavis, and Carol. They're very like there's frustrations running high as you walk over. Well, let us retire for the night.
Where would you have us, Lord Tavis? Eh.
Back in the Venzerden estate. Not the Venzerden. The
Kerrigan.
Kerrigan estate.
Perfect.
Lindis, if you wouldn't mind. As she goes. Right, everyone. Link up. Then cast teleport and you find
Yeah,
yourself
hook
back
elbows.
in the Tavis estate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's some people who are going to assume this is linked to the night I come to Mantara Theatre Politics and the Ember Rifts appear.
What an
Can't help that,
entrance.
sir.
It will be idle rumor.
Where do you need us?
How can we help?
We have 4 rifts. Emmeline, one of them, I did not wish to say in front of everyone, it is opened 2 kilometers from your old family home. Sorry, what's kilometers? It's opened 2 miles from your old family home.
What the
Thank
fuck is
you.
a kilometer?
Appreciate it.
It's a more civilized unit of
I was
measurement
like, I don't know how
for
far
a more
that is.
dignified age.
Right.
Leo, also for you, the mountains south of Worm's Rest is where your winter home was. So, I'll also, for everyone
Was.
here, it probably wants
By the
to have to
way.
change the color.
Yeah, I heard it. God damn it,
Also-
that's where my shit is.
It's probably close to where the Onyx Great Worm is, ish, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's bad. That could be
No
really
good.
bad.
Okay. let me
That whole
just-
draconic influence thing exists, so that could be real bad.
Yeah, that could be a bad time.
So, you'll now see a few red circles have appeared on your map.
Oh, got it. 1 second.
Oh,
Now
no.
explain where everything is.
Oh, I zoomed out way too far. Ooh. The Arkhold is where the people who are also studying the
Yep.
Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Where's the fourth? Oh, fourth is Mount Unday. What?
This feels like we're triangulating something off of these points. I just want
I
to say,
don't
like,
remember-
Casellia is
quick,
pretty much
draw
in the
some
middle.
lines, we'll predict the fifth.
I just want to say, like, Casellia is like kind of in the middle. It's pretty close.
So here, I
just
to
saying.
save all of you guys drawing on the map, I will draw a line from each of them if you want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
I knew you'd
Appreciate
want
it.
this. I actually drew this earlier just to see where it would land.
Like, this is just my conspiracy brain going at it.
By game logic, the biggest one's gonna be here.
That's not how it's gonna happen.
That's how it's gonna
exactly how
happen.
video games work.
That's how good's gonna
There's no
happen.
city there.
It's
doesn't
gonna
need
to be a
hit the
city.
River Grecken. No.
Not the Kraken. We have to save the Kraken. Save
That
the Kraken.
is
so
the-
much.
We have to
Oh, no.
release the
Si-
Kraken.
We have
Sign-
such a
sign a
long-standing
petition.
history.
Sign a petition to save the Kraken.
Wait, that's where the Zhou was. No.
It is, yeah.
It was the Zoyu all along.
Oh.
We should never have saved it.
Shut up.
It's not too late for us to go around.
We
Mount
need to
Unday
investigate all of
one
this.
is where the Prescient
Yes.
Elves are, right?
Yes, it is opened inside the halls of Mount Unday.
That is not good.
That's awful.
Is that where Ellie's family's from?
No,
No.
you're thinking of
No.
Arthalia.
She's from.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Arcthalia, yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
last campaign,
yeah.
there was that really badass Prescient Elf who was holding onto one of the shards for a while?
Yeah.
That's
He's
his
from
home.
Mount-
Yeah.
This is all news to us. This is
Right.
quicker than we had expected.
Do we
Prince
have
Galasindir was
any
in
inf-
Mount Unday and he is gravely wounded.
Right. Do we have any information on the responses to these? What people have managed so far? Any?
Previous attempts to
Updates.
close them, similar to the ones that the Lyceum has done, and the Druids of Yundav do not work on these ones. Each of them has a similar reporting of a bone plinth, similar to what you saw, Leo, but it encircles the entire rift.
Lord
Do
Tavis, if
we-
it makes... Sorry, Emmeline, if it makes sense, did this happen about 45 minutes before you announced it?
That would line up with the times.
My hand went numb. Emmeline and I were dancing at that time.
The one that you lost?
Yeah.
Next time that happens, you
And,
tell me immediately. No matter
Yeah,
what.
yes, I will, now that I understand the correlation. I didn't want to ruin your
Sorry,
evening.
I had to foreshadow it a little bit.
Yeah,
A little
please do.
bit.
Continue to do so. Understood. I'm not sure if it's relevant or not, but the way you describe the
We'll
Ember Rifts
figure
is
As you see now, there's like as 5 people get teleported inside the Tavis estate. All the guests personally invited by Lord Tavis.
Hello again.
friends.
I will take you all in my study. We will discuss this. And he heads upstairs. Goes, Lindis, you continue with our groups.
So we stay with Lindis.
He's going with the 5 people that were brought in.
I
So-
really want to be in that room.
Me too.
Where do you want
I
us to
think you
be?
do.
Ladies, have us.
Let's-
Where would you have us?
Let's focus on the task at hand.
We do not
What
know.
can we do?
We do not know. Not right now. We have 4 points and not enough groups to get to them all. We'll send.
Do we?
I trust all of these have to be dealt. In what order? I do not know.
Do you have enough God's blood for them?
Yeah.
That was about.
Not
was
all
about
at
to ask.
once.
I'm
We
worried
will work
about
on
the
that.
draconic influence affecting the Onyx Great Worm.
Same, and selfishly, I'm worried about Arthagred more generally.
And selfishly, I'm more worried about us losing another a Great Worm to the enemy.
Do we?
Agree.
Sorry, Leo.
No. Go.
No, please. I was taking it in a different direction.
What were you
No,
doing?
then take it in that direction. Bria and I were probably going to go in circles for a little bit.
Right. Lady Tavis, do we have a list of priorities for these rifts that have opened?
They ought to be the same.
Prioritization? In terms of
No.
our level of interest, though, and concern.
Our vested interest is all of this at the moment. I don't care which of these you go for first, if I'm being perfectly honest. All of them will have to be dealt with. It seems like a folly to try and figure which one is the most important. Whichever ones you want to go to with your personal gripes, do that if you so wish. You'll have to do them all. We'll have to send you to each of them, I apologize. But we'll try send a group to the whichever... We have one other group that may still have chance at doing some of this help towards us. We'll send that to whatever ones you end up not picking, I'll send one there.
Understood.
At the risk of being too forward, send us to Arthagred.
Our conversations with Esselbroste will give you a starting hub in Arvagrad. We can get you there.
I have several already, but yes.
Are the other positions
I really-
linked tightly with any of these new allies that we should also be looking into?
None of our allies hold home in any of these new locations.
Whilst as well, of course, I would appreciate the Randrum.
Oh
Yeah.
my
You
god, Emmeline, I've been so selfish. Yes, send us to Randrum.
So, as you start discussing this, us as the viewers are going to pan away for a moment.
Yay!
Across 4 different areas at the same time, whether the quiet, storm-racked shores of the Ark hold the Knights of the Ark training their squires peacefully in the yard. Almost peacefully further north, up in just outside of Worm's Rest, some idle hunters in the woods. East to Valocrest, where most of Randrum's military resides for their training, just near Emmeline's home. And last within the vaulted halls of Mount Ondai, like a quick ignition, sparks to life 4 great rifts. Immediately as they do, bone rises to meet them. No singular one less than 100 feet in diameter. They get surrounded by bone. Inside Mount Ondai, the Crown Prince of Isenhar Exandir rides to meet this rift. And as each one by one, a voice calls out from inside. And stepping out of each one as it happens, a red, a white, a green, and a blue dragonborn individual with wings, standing maybe close to 7 foot, armored in beautiful silver armor, call out. Those of you here, those of you far, who scry on such place, do not fret. Salvation is coming. As out of each portal, 15 dragons on each land of the matching color. It overwhelms Mount Ondai. Thankfully, the other places are further. The Randrum military tries to put up a good effort near Valocrest. But we'll see what happens to them when you get there. The Knights of the Arkhold, few but valiant, fight to their heart's content. And up near Worm's Rest, Dragon Call meets Dragon Call. Back inside the estate where you did not see all this happen, but our lovely viewers did.
Emmeline, what do you want?
Yeah, what do you want? How
your
important
family?
is Valocrest to you? Your family's here, but your family's also there.
Very important. But all of these locations are important. I know Worm's Rest has a personal connection for you, Leo.
There's a selfish reason for wanting to go out there, but that's not why I rush out. I'm disenfranchised a lot of the time with my homeland, but I'm a proud son of Arvigrad. And if it's opened outside of Worm's Rest, that's where the biggest, baddest dragon that I've ever seen, or ever heard of, rather, is where they live. And I don't know. I think the Onyx Great Worm would be a powerful ally to lose. Perhaps it's the chess player in me.
Here's where I'm going to step in for you guys, and we're going to talk about this. So for those of you that have played something like Dragon Age 1, this is something similar. You will have to hit all of these starting locations, but the order in which you do these will affect the story. I say to you as your DM, you will be able to do each of these. But consider what Leo and Nate is saying is, what might you lose if you don't do things in certain orders?
Yeah.
I'm also very worried about the portal being right by the woad.
Yeah, that's close to the wood.
Yeah. There are... All four of them, we lose something massive. There's massive things at stake for all of them.
If only the
I think
DM put
it's
them somewhere
also-
better for you guys. Why couldn't we get it
Yeah,
out in the
it's
crest
also-
or at sea?
Yeah, but like it's also like... Just in terms of ease of travel as well. What's like the way that we can get
Yeah.
around most efficiently between places.
We can also be teleported, potentially.
True, but that's relying upon them not being busy doing other things.
True,
But,
but
like-
I'm just meaning, like, at least for this first one, Lindis could potentially
Oh, yeah,
teleport
absolutely.
us.
For the first one, you can
But then
definitely get... For the first one, we'll be
Teleport
throwing you
too.
pretty quickly somewhere.
Yeah.
And then by the time we're at one of them, the ability to get to a second one is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
So
The hell with these portals. We need to get to the River Grecken immediately.
We need to find the cross point. Just
all
wait.
defenses. All defenses to the River Grecken. No, so I guess working backwards, which one do we think is the least of priority?
Mount Ondai.
Or
I was gonna say Arkhold.
I was gonna say Arkhold. I don't know anything about it though, so I could be missing
It's just
something
the
very
Knights of the
massive.
Ark. Like Knights of the Ark,
Colossus-
cool.
I don't really know a lot
important.
about them. All I know is that
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
that inscribed Ali's armor. That's it.
And Vilfira.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Look,
but like,
they've
Valkyria
already
is-
killed
it's just-
Calasindia.
True.
They've already killed Calasindia. We don't really care about Mount Ondai.
Hey, he's not dead! What the fuck do you mean? The fuck are you talking
Jen's like, it's not my turn anymore.
No,
I killed
True,
Donnie
true.
myself, man.
look, this is where we find out, like, shit, Aura's also injured in the Valley Crest one. Shit.
If we do go to Valocrest, the chances of being
Nah.
able to be teleported to the second location are really, really high because Aura is there, and there's also the Nithafa water guy.
Yeah.
Leo
I think-
has a teleportation circle to Nithafa.
So
Yes.
I don't
that
have
would also work.
teleportation circle yet, but but shit, I
you
could
guys
grab and
just leveled
scroll
up
pretty
recently, so
easily.
you're ready for this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
no.
it's between the Wormrest and Valocrest are going to be our first and second. We just have to figure out which one is which. Is that a fair assessment? Unless Raptor
Yes.
wanted to go Mount
I think you guys
Ondai.
are juggling right
So,
now
yeah.
between which character backstory location one you want to hit first.
Yeah.
I
It's
just
okay.
want to
Just
see.
hit
I'm
F5
just-
right now, and we'll F9 after we go to it.
Yeah. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
also concerned
save.
about how large the repercussions will be for the one that we go to last.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're
how
going to the
significant-
Archold last, right?
Because just looking at this, if we go like that, like traveling from, like, we better hope there's teleportation from Mount Ondai to Archold.
If there's
But
a Mount
also-
Ondai left, if you go there third.
I mean, look, if that's the result of going somewhere third, then like, what's the point of going anywhere after that? Like, if it's
For the
literally going to be
XP,
third one's
Raph.
destroyed, yeah, nah, fuck that.
Also,
Also,
we-
for
we-
stopping
your
the
four
dragons
last
from
milestones
killing
of the
anywhere
campaign.
else.
It's
Huh?
forgetting the fat loot out of the Oblivion portal.
It's for
Hey,
stopping
there's
the
been-
dragons
New
from then
hand
leaving Mount
touches the
Ondai.
beacon.
And...
Yeah,
Shut
nah.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Wait, if you look at that,
like,
Raph's just drawn a 4 on the map. Oh my god, it all
4
makes
portals.
sense.
It's River.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
god, and it's on River Grecken as well.
It was
Why would it
always
be
the River
anything different?
Grecken.
Of course it's on the River
Of course,
Grecken.
it was the River Grecken.
It's on the River Grecken.
Of course it is. That's how that works.
No, because we could have gone like this, and that wouldn't have been River Grecken.
Why would we go to the Archold second? There's nothing important there.
Look, the Knights of the Ark we know have been. Their whole thing is like portals.
Yeah, but it's the
and
furthest away from the River Grecken.
interdimensional.
Their whole thing was also you're not
Sick.
important enough for us to talk to you about this shit.
True, but if we help save them, then we will be.
True,
Yeah.
but also they haven't like come to any of like the Tavises have like reached out hands to a bunch of people. And if their whole thing is portals and they weren't at the party, they either weren't invited because they weren't seen as important enough, or they didn't show up because they didn't think that it was worth it.
I mean,
Second.
there were also a lot of major organizations that weren't invited to this. Like, it was a lot of smaller niche figures. A lot of the major factions didn't really rock up to this. Like, there was no official Jorhakin representative, just an exile.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say, Des?
No, continue. My thing is not relevant.
Okay.
So
But-
Worm's Rest or Valocrest first?
Yeah.
If Valocrest is left to falter, their entire military of Rendleton is gone, basically.
Yeah,
and it's
we
also
don't know
right beside the
how.
wood.
And we don't know how much of the
Worms.
woad will get damaged by
Exactly.
it as well.
Yeah.
Worm's Rest, we potentially risk losing the Onyx Great
The
Worm.
Onyx Great Worm.
However, at the same time, I'm the most confident in the Onyx Great Worm being able to survive compared to.
I kind of feel that way too,
most-
but I think Des wants
most
us
other
to feel
figures.
that way.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like to the point where I think we could not hit there first, and it would still be okay.
Yeah, I
Like-
think if we were hitting there like third or fourth, it would be absolutely awful. But if the whole stakes are you can only save one, then there would be no point in us like really
Yeah.
being told to go
Look,
to all of the other ones.
The main one I'm concerned about is just wherever we hit last. Like I'm just
Yeah.
writing that off as like it's gonna be fucked by the time we get there.
It's gonna be Mount
other
Ondai
ones-
where the Ark holds.
There's one thing we're
It's
not
the
considering
Archold.
when it comes to
Yeah.
the Archold is number 4 for sure.
My
We're
only
tossing
concern
up
with
between
that-
number 1 and 2.
But look how close it is to us at character
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
here.
So
But I feel like that's almost a
The-
trap.
You
there's one
activated
thing
my trap card.
that's
Oh, it's
there's one
penis.
thing we're not considering about Worm's Rest. Going back
Mhm.
into character for a second. Just outside of Worm's Rest is a hoard of magical items that I've stolen from my parents.
Okay.
They could be useful in the upcoming fights.
What do you have? Are there
Here is the
actually
manif-
useful things?
Here is the
Yeah.
literal manifest. Des, how much
How useful?
did I? How much
Were these
did
just
I get?
fakes?
No, these were real. I stole the real ones and replaced them with fakes.
One second, I pull your sheet up. Not your sheet, your character.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up myself.
Your history.
Yep.
There's some pretty good stuff in there, if my memory serves me right.
Yeah, so there's a bit that hasn't been fleshed out yet, but should I read all 5 of the
Yeah, you can read the 5 of them.
Okay, cool. So Calasindia's blink dagger is in there. Zamani's wedding dress, which is an armor of glamours, is in there. Zeph's humming cloak, Makestiel's ring of evasion, and Donnie's gale force gloves.
What the fuck? You just stole our stuff from last campaign. What the fuck?
We made sure there was one of everything.
Yep.
Oi.
So we have all 5 of those plus other stuff. And
Correction,
they're
all 5
stolen.
of those were in that place.
Yes,
We don't know
they all
they
were there.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm more worried about the Woad and losing an entire nation's military, to be honest with you.
If we're thinking about that though, then Mount Ondai is equally as severe because that's like the entire President elves.
True, but they're far away.
They are far away.
But here's the important thing. What if you don't hit
Technically,
Mount Ondai
nowhere's
first and
close.
Calasindir's grievous wounds become permanent and deadly? Because that's
If
where
he
dies.
Thalcalzir is wounded.
Yeah. Yeah, fine.
Donnie died.
Yeah, but we're talking.
Rap's like, we need to
Okay.
get Mount Ondai first.
No. Well, no. All I'm saying,
We're such
They-
assholes, Jen.
this is no. This is out of the fact that Callison is my previous character and everything like that. But in terms
Sure.
of people that have closed
Tell us
Emberiths,
more.
Calasindia is the only person that closed an Emberith fully without needing God's blood by just going at himself and closing it properly, not temporarily, fully.
Yeah.
Not like half measures, but fully closing it.
And if we lose the
The
Woad,
only
then
other
we have
person.
no connection to.
I'm not gonna. That's the thing. That like we wouldn't lose the entire world. It'd be like parts of it would be damaged, but like we won't get that time. The whole world is going to be destroyed.
True, but then that puts either Valocrest or Worm's Rest at 3rd, which means we are likely to lose one of those 2 places.
I'll go
That's the thing,
to-
like, we don't-
I'll go to Riddleton if we go to Worms Rest second. How
How about this? We each go to different locations.
No.
We're splitting the party.
Speedrun next campaign. I love it.
Yeah.
Everyone
Split
gets
up,
a solo
take one
section
each.
these next 3 weeks about how you die to the first dragon that you see.
No,
I've already done that, gamer.
All right, we'll just rerun that.
I'll be-
episode for you.
I'll
Second dragon.
Emmeline, Rhea, you're right. We lose the road, we lose the war. We lose the road, we lose the war. Try saying that 3 times fast. Valorcrest first, but I want to go to Worms Rest second.
Well, if you want me to send the other group to Worm's Rest while you go to Valorcrest, I can. Because remember, that's the other part is Lady Tavis will send another group to one of the places you're not hitting first.
That's fair.
No,
And then
send them
that
to
means
Mount
that we
Ondai.
Send them to Mount
Yeah.
Ondai.
Don't go to Worm's
And
Rest.
we'll save your fucking
Would
character,
you all
Raph.
like to know the mechanics of how this party will affect it, or would you like to be blind?
I want the mechanics.
I want the mechanics.
Love this new Gen mech head arc.
So, this group that's being sent by the Tavises
Uh-huh.
can basically change it so whatever time you hit one of these places, you would have hit it one stage sooner.
Okay, cool.
So,
Well,
So,
it's
for
giving
example,
us
if you
two
go to
second
Valorcrest,
stages.
and put the group to Worm's Rest, it would be like you went straight to Worm's Rest from now.
But then,
So in theory,
like,
you get 2 first stages.
or we get 2
Mhm.
second stages.
2 second stages and prevent a
2
third stage.
seconds.
So you could
Which
send
I
it
think
to
is the
Arkhold,
best.
and then you hit Valorcrest, then you hit. So Valorcrest 1, Worm's Rest, Ondai 2nd, Arkhold 3rd. So you avoid a 4th case scenario.
Which is the worst one.
Or we
Or we
get 2
avoid a
second place.
Yeah.
It's either we get 2 second places and a 4th. Or, yes, 2 first.
So it's either you get 2 first and a 2nd and a 3rd. So 1, 1, 2, 3, or you could do 1, 2, 2, 3.
Yep. Speaking plainly, we have the choice of disregarding the Arkhold completely by saving Calasindia and the Onyx Grapeworm. And we
Yes.
save Rindleton, we save Valorcrest ourselves.
It's
Yes.
also the prescient elves. Will be say it's not just cast. It's also the prescient elves,
Yeah.
which are incredibly useful allies.
Yeah,
If we're
they're gonna
talking
teach me time
strategically.
magic or something.
Yeah.
Maybe they can
Or
go back in
something.
time to
You're the
destroy the
worst
Ember
student
Rift.
ever. That,
My personal preference is sending
Now,
them to
mind you,
Mount Onday.
this all could change. You guys could change your mind after you go to like. You only have to lock in number 1 and where you're sending the group right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of having 2 second stages.
Yeah,
yes,
same.
me too.
So I kind of like the idea of us going to Valorcrest, sending the group to Mount Ondai, us going to Worm's Rest, then Mount Ondai, then the Arkhold.
Just sacking Arkhold. Yeah.
So
I
either
don't-
way, Arkhold
Yeah.
will be stage 4 when you get.
I
Yes.
don't know anything about the Arkhold or what
They were
would,
assholes
like,
to us first. They deserve
Could-
to be burned.
But despite
They
being
weren't that
assholes-
bad. Jesus.
I mean, despite like what the situation was, like we don't know, like they
Yeah.
haven't been like brought up a lot along the way. Or, like I don't really know anything about
It's,
them or what's going on,
like-
unless I've forgotten something.
The only thing about the Arkhold, which I think the only reason why it's incontentional is because it's close. That's it. Like that is the
It's
only
close,
reason.
and
But
it's the
you know
only
what?
one of these 3 locations that has been studying the rifts as well as you.
yeah,
Kerrigan's right there. The heart of Mantarathea, the heart of magical knowledge in Quenthos
on the surface. Yeah.
is no in real life is in Kerrigan, and it's close to Kerrigan. They can throw a bunch of magic or drop a mountain on it or whatever.
True.
I feel like
Of any
Civ
of them,
5.
at least there's a force here that is powerful. And
Yeah.
There's
scary
also a
that-
force in Mount Ondai and a force in Valorcrest. Like there is forces
And a
everywhere.
force in Arvagrad.
Yeah,
Like
there's the great.
the
There's a
entire
force
nation.
everywhere.
The Onyx. I
that's
forgot their
fair.
name, but the Onyx Guard or whatever they are.
The Onyx Knight.
look, are we calling that a plan,
Yes.
Ria?
Okay.
Do it.
Okay, so as we lock that in, you guys are making decisions. I'm also going to give my players time to decide throughout the. I'll have all of you guys lock in by Tuesday night for each of you, and we'll decide majority rule. But I do have to go off. It's an early night for me. That's the session, guys.
Mhm.
We'll see you next time.
That was
Thanks so much for hanging out.
Heaps of fun.
Be,
It's
be
happening.
wary of any
Yeah.
local Ember Rifts that are opening up. Bye.
Yep, we're gonna go to
Yeah.
Kavach. We'll see you later.